and facilities in an area of turmoil.
Yeah.
How's your safety factor?
God, so we're great.
Well,
So that's a kind of a twofold question. He's asking what is the safety pertaining to not only our equipment but also our people who are in
Right.
Sierra Leone. So I'll answer the people question first. That's a little easier. So we have round the clock 24/7 security on our campus. We have a 27-acre campus that all of our children, all of our staff, and all of our people functionally exist. Except for some of the teachers, they live in the village, but for our full-time caregivers, they're all inside this community. And one of the overviews you saw, like all those blue houses, I don't know if you saw, but there's a huge fence out front too. So part of that is they're blocking off, kind of barricading the whole community, and it's keeping people out that don't need to be there. So from a person safety perspective, we have very aggressive and fantastic security officers. They are hilarious. I love talking to those guys. They walk around with a sword that's taller than me, and I'm just like, I don't want to fight this guy. And so that part is how we take care of. We also on our campus we have these these very large outbuildings that keep our trucks and our equipment in one place. We also have people, whenever we have, when stuff's on our campus, they have the security, so no one's just going to stroll on and drive away with a well rig. They'd be very skilled, not easy to drive. And if we ever have to leave a well rig at a location for whatever reason, maybe they need to go back and get it apart and have to take a dirt bike back to wherever to get a piece of equipment, someone from our team or a member of security will stay with the equipment at all times, because unfortunately, you're right, there is definitely a concern of people just taking things. And so some people have asked me too, because one of the things we do is when we go to these communities, maybe there's only like 30 people in a village, they may not be a good fit for a full well necessarily just yet, but what we do is we provide them with these water filtration systems that, like, one bucket with this water filtration system can provide clean water for a family of 5 for 25 years. So they last a while. And people have asked us, what happens if you give them away and then they sell it? And I say, well, that can happen. We don't do it because we're concerned with the financial return. We do it because we want them to try to have hope, try to have opportunity. And so if people take it and steal it, we hope that doesn't happen. We pray it doesn't happen, but people will continue to be people. They've done that since they've been around. And so if that happens, it happens. But we do it on faith that it'll go to the right people, and that they'll use it for what it's worth. Because unfortunately, a water filtration system, you can imagine, would be quite valuable to some of these people. So they might actually sell it. So that does happen. We get them to sign something to say that they won't do that, but what are you going to do? If you got a room full of 12 kids staring at you and they haven't eaten in a week, you might sell some things, and that might be something you sell. So it's a lot of short-term thinking sometimes.
You mentioned that you have volunteers here packaging the meals. What does it cost to get that back to the country?
So,
and how does it get back?
Yeah, so each bag's about £1.50. We have to put at least 12 stamps on there. What we do is we have annually, sometimes twice a year, we fill a shipment container right on our site. We'll have them drop it off right at our location, and we will just fill the entire shipment container with food, supplies, clothing, educational supplies, generators, tons of stuff. We just cram it full. Basically the equivalent of like a giant cargo hold you see in the shipyard.
Yeah.
One of those guys. We cram it full, and a company will come and pick it up. They'll take it to port, and they'll send it to Freetown, Sierra Leone, to which it can stay in port for a week, 2 weeks. Sometimes depending on how much paperwork and how much bribing has to happen. Not joking. And so they will ship it out. So how much that costs, I don't know the exact number. It's probably around $1,200. Might be more, might be less. I don't have the exact number for you, but it's a good question. So we do it in bulk to try to prevent some of the prevailing costs that could be associated with just sending them stuff all the time. Because there's no postal system, right? There's just, better hope a guy shows up with a truck big enough to take this stuff. As a matter of fact, we had a picture on our Facebook page the other day of them delivering our truck, and I told you the roads are destroyed, right? Yeah. Not all of them, there's a couple main roads, but as soon as you go off into the more rural areas, there's a picture of, we have our rig, and half of it was on the ground in a ditch, and we're just like, oh, well, that's good. They got it out. Very, very resourceful people in Sierra Leone. Holy cow, the things they do. But they got it out, so that's how we get it there on a regular basis. Is we send them the shipment container. And so on our campus, we have a handful of shipment containers, which works out great because we can keep supplies and stuff in there. We can lock the shipment containers once they're there too. So that's part of it. Back to your question about church. So every single Sunday on our campus, we have this huge pavilion. There was a church in the community that was probably actually about the size of this church that people would gather and that they would attend, but the building was falling apart. It was an absolute disrepair. And so we offer to allow people to come and worship on our campus because we have this, well-built outdoor pavilion, and they come with their generator and speakers about as big as these, and it is loud. And they will they'll do church outside, and the children come and their families come, and because the children come to our campus, because a lot of them are our students. Guess what? They're bringing mom and dad usually. So it's been awesome to kind of have that there. So when I go back in September, I plan on attending Sunday service, and I'll be bringing my earphones. But it's great though. So that's back to your Christian question. That's how they do that. They have church, and so a lot of the students will attend our church, and others don't. So, any other questions?
But the information about this on here is that on the website?
Yeah. So on our website, it's just www.ltlol.com, and yeah, just Google it. Just Google it. And we also have a pretty active social media presence. If any of you are on Facebook, if you search for Left and LOL, there's a couple of different LOL groups. Just look for the one that says Left and LOL. Some of them are just for volunteers and other stuff like that. So I never talked about what I do with LOL. I'm just the guy who talks. So I actually, for the last year and a half or so, I've been their database administrator. And I've helped convert all of their data material from Microsoft Excel, which we love so much, to this online platform that allows us to interact with data a lot more regularly, so we can have better statistics on how many hours. So like just recently, I was at the office a couple weeks ago. We've already clocked about 1,700 volunteer hours year to date so far. People just coming in groups. They come in, they sign out, and those hours rack up. We keep a tab on all that. In our annual report here, if anybody is interested, we do have some information about just some of the statistics about what we're doing, what we've done in the last year. I'm going to answer a lot of questions, but the website is a good place to kind of check out, peruse that video that I showed you. It was right from the website under the Clean Water tab. If anybody's interested in volunteering, there's a volunteer form you can fill out right on the website. Or you can just show up. You can just go to the website. It's 5205 Harris Hill Road. I've been there a lot. And so that's what we do. So. Any other questions?
And what about the gala?
What about the gala?
What about it?
Yeah, so we have a gala. So every year, one of our big fundraisers is our water gala. Here's our informational card about the water gala. And people can come and they attend. It's an event where obviously part of your ticket cost goes towards the fundraiser, and we have live auctions, we have silent auctions, we have community auctions where you put the tags in the bag. And so we have a lot of different ways that we interact with folks there. We usually have about 700 people in attendance. Last couple of years it's been at Riverworks, and that's been a really neat location because it's just fun down there if you've never been. And so that is this October. We'll have our annual water gala. I believe it's October 20th at Riverworks. If you're interested in that, I got a card for you can take. It's about information for that. And we have, you probably saw like a group of wild people running at one point. That wasn't just running. We have a 5K every year too, and so we do that every year, usually around May or June. This year was in May, and that's right around the Clarence Public Library. We start there with a nice loop, and a nice way to do some fundraising too. So a lot of different ways you can fundraise, a lot of ways you can get involved. If you just want to check us out, you can go to the website. You can even just stop by the building. The building is an experience. When you walk in there, we've created a space that has pictures that are like the size of this wall of really awesome moments that we've captured in being there. So it's something to check out. Right now it's a little insane because we just had our community yard sale. So I'm now a proud owner of a table saw. It's $30. Very excited about that.
And you will use it.
I will use
This
it.
guy's very handy.
So much. But yeah, that's a lot of the activities. I could talk for a very long time, but I promised Jim that I wouldn't, so I won't.
So this is local?
This
Like
is local.
Started
This
local,
started right here in
and
Clarence,
so
and
this
it's,
is all where it is.
yeah, and one of our passages is that we're a community here for a community there, and I love it because Buffalo is, a city of good neighbors, and we are, we're a relatively, in the scheme of things, relatively poorer city, and we're helping Sierra Leone, which is like one of the poorest countries on earth. So it's that's what we do. And I think one of the most beautiful and the most telling characteristic of Christians is their generosity and our ability to interact. Now, the actual organization itself, some people ask, are you guys strictly a ministry? Are you a church organization? And on the books, we are fundamentally a humanitarian organization. And the reason we do that is because we are able to be far-reaching into different categories. So, like at the Water Gala, for instance, people, sometimes we get like a wine tour that people want to like bid on, whatever. And people are more hesitant to give a wine tour to a church. And then, so that's part of it. There's a lot of other reasons, but it's when we're on the ground there, when the rubber hits the road, we're talking about Jesus in Sierra Leone. So it's a really cool program. Anything else? These are all great questions. I love questions. Questions are my favorite.
But you'll hang here. And
I'll hang.
Amy said that she was, hopefully we could sign up and go over this year to Sierra.
Yeah, it's hot.
Amy has no words.
He was like, I never said that. Those aren't words that
I
I
don't think
said.
it's me that couldn't do it.
Your look said it all.
Yeah.
So people who are interested in going to Sierra Leone, typically we ask that you have some level of connection with Let Them Know Well in terms of, it's not, the reason I said it's not your average missions trip. A lot of mission trips you can kind of go as a group. It's a well-oiled machine, like you hear like SCORE International. You go there, you build a building, and you come back home, and it's awesome. It's a great experience for you. This is, you fly for 18 hours, and then you go for a 4-hour ride into the middle of nowhere at like 11 o'clock at night in pitch black Sierra Leone world with tons of police stops, and it is dark, and you feel very unsafe. It's a great time. That's right, well, yeah. And so it's not your average trip, but it's not to say that everyone can't go. It's just a matter of, we periodically will ask people, anyone who's interested, like on our website, it's a good place to check, or on our Facebook page. Like the director just posted a couple of weeks ago saying, hey, anyone who wants to go on this trip, let us know. And what we do is we kind of do a marginal vetting out. Are you doing it just because you're wanting to come back and say how great you are, or are you interested in helping these kids, right? Because we're all in it about the kids. Super excited about the kids. We're very protective of our kids, and so it's something that we definitely always interested in people wanting to go though. It's an experience that'll absolutely change you.
How long do you stay when you go? Like a month?
So it's a down and back. So I'll be going from the 21st to the 28th. So I travel for about 3 days, including there and back. I'm on the ground for 4 days, and I'll go to bed around 11, and I'll get up around 5, and you are on your feet all day, the entire day. Yep, it's a good time. It's hot.
What is the temperature?
So right now, this is a hotter time of year, so it's probably about 100 right now.
100 degrees?
Yeah, 100, but remember it's sub-Saharan Africa, so it's nice and humid.
Yeah.
Very, very warm.
It's
So,
very humid.
but when you go in March, it's the dry season. If you go in October, it's a little more the wet season. So it's like 80s and 90s, not anything crazy, but it's warm. If you're from Florida, you'd be fine. I'll close us in prayer if you'll have me, sir.
Pretty
All right.
awesome.
Well, thank you guys for having me come and talk. It's been awesome to talk to you guys. And like that, right before 12, we're going to be great. All right. Father, we just come before you and thank you so much for the time we get to be together. We get to talk about you and just the amazing things we get to do because of what your son did for us. We ask, Lord, that we can be impacted by what we talked about today, that we can leave here changed, that we can consider that you have called us to great and awesome things, and let us go boldly out there, Lord, and do what you've had us do. We're so grateful for the wonderful people here at this church, Lord. I pray that you would just bless them, and thank you so much for having me come and talk before them and giving me that opportunity, Lord. I pray that you would use that to your full fruitfulness, Lord, that there would be opportunity for more growth as a result of this. We're so thankful. I pray, Jesus, that you would be with this organization, Lord, as we continue to go out there and be the light in the darkness, that you would just let us shine bright and let us go boldly before, Lord, knowing you are completely with us and that your rod and your staff, they comfort us. And we're so grateful for that. We pray, Lord, that you would just be with us today and that you would just bless our days. Let us enjoy some time with our family and have some good time today, Lord. We just thank you so much. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
You gotta be able to stand up.